All right, welcome race fans. Today here is a 60 plus league. They are turning laps here at Milwaukee Mile, and I have Jeff Dotson in the booth with me. Thank you, Jeff, for joining us, and welcome, brother.
Yep, thank you. It's an honor to be here helping you in the booth again today here at the 60 Plus guys. Great group of guys broadcast for here, and they've always put on a great show. And here at the Milwaukee Mile, their second road course race of the season. And I think it'll be a pretty good show here today in these Formula Renault 2.0s and Pro Mazdas.
Yes, sir. You meant second oval. You said second road course. It's okay. It's okay.
I bet.
It's okay. Well, Vandervan taking over the pole. Man, look at this. Well, we've got the Star Mazdas or Pro Mazdas. I guess they've reclassified them now as Pro Mazda. And
Yeah.
the Renault 2.0 out here racing together. So, and I think for the most part, what we've seen this season, Jeff, talk about them cars a little bit. I think we've seen kind of an equalization between them two. Donald has kind of made the cars equal out there where, we know the Renault 2.0 is a little faster on the straightaways than the Star Mazda. But the Star Mazda is so much better in the turns than the Renault 2.0. So kind of equalizes out there. So we've seen some pretty good races, equalization between the two. So
Exactly. Yeah. And when I first started helping you with these guys' races, when I first saw them doing the Formula Renault against the Pro Mazda, I was like, can these cars run together like this in the same class? I was like, wait, what? But I soon found out that these cars are almost identical to one another, even though that the Star Mazda does have a little bit of a smaller, horsepower engine than what the Formula Renault has. And I think the reason that is because, the way the Star Mazda can still get so much on the Formula Renault is because the Formula Renault is a little bit bigger and a little longer. Therefore, it has more body panels on it and more, work and has more weight compared over to the Pro Mazda, who is a little bit shorter in length, but is a little bit wider, but
right,
therefore I think it is a little bit less on weight.
yeah, it's got a little bit better stance to it.
Yeah,
Like you said, the Renault 2.0 is more formula type where it's narrow and it doesn't have the sharpest turning radius as the Star Mazda. Star Mazda is a lot wider stance and is able to handle those turns better, but they got a lot more grip. Well, they're out here qualifying right now, and they got about 6 minutes left in qualifying, and it looks like Donald Strout taking over the pole again, Jeff, this week, backing up. He's had a couple of great races, a couple of great wins so far, just since he's only been racing a couple of races this season.
yeah. He come in at Monza a couple weeks ago, sat on the pole, dominated the whole race, led every single lap, won the race. Same thing last week at Lime Rock, sat on the pole position, led every single lap, dominated the race. Today here at Milwaukee so far, he's sitting on the pole. This would be his third pole in a row and only his third race. And can he possibly also get his third win in a row too, sitting on the pole?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man. He's just crazy good. Well, we're about to find out because oval's a whole lot different than a road course, but I don't know. Uh, just I haven't taken the car out there on the track to see what it feels like, either car, but just to kind of get the feel of it. And I might have to do that afterwards because that might be kind of fun. You know.
Oh yeah, both of these cars are now the Pro Mazda is actually an American sanctioned car. It is a sanctioned of Indy car. It is underneath the thing Mazda Road to Pro Indy or something like that. That's what it's called, the Pro Road to Indy or something like that. So these Pro Mazda cars are set up to run on ovals because IndyCar does run ovals, and they do run the Pro Mazda, I think, a year on 2 or 3 ovals with road courses. And
Right.
the Pro Mazda does have a default oval setup here on iRacing, but the Formula Renault 2.0 is strictly built for road courses only. So this car does not have any oval setups to go off of, but you can still run it on ovals, and it's still a great car to run on ovals, but you would never think that knowing it's a road course car.
Very true. Well, we got about 4 minutes left in here. Looks like we've got 14 qualifiers so far. Uh, some good ones now. Sustello last week, we seen him have a terrible luck last week and wrecked out early. And man, he was running up there, actually contending Donald Strout for that to hang on to it. Now Unsby, from what I understand, Unsby, let's see. I can't remember. I read something on him in the forums about Donald Strout's mother-in-law was very, very ill, so we're wishing her speedy recovery, or if everything's okay, we hoping. So lot going on in this league here. 60 plus, folks. You got to be 60 years old to be in the league and above. And I don't recall which driver it was, but one driver told me he was 78 years old, and I'm like, holy smokes! That's what you call not giving up on something you love so much,
Yeah.
All right, less than 3 minutes away from grid time. And just for those of you that are watching today, this is live. This is not pre-recorded. This is actually live today. We are live right here on MaxSpeedTV. And boy, what a tight field so far. It looks like within a half a second, just a little over half a second from first to 15th.
Yes, and it looks like the top three are all Formula Renault 2.0s. But then I think they're in fourth place. Kenneth Baldwin is driving a Pro Mazda.
Well, it's a pretty tight field for having mixed cars like that, man.
Yeah.
That's what you call really getting it done around there, I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Almost a 27-second flat time for Donald Strout. That's pretty wild. I think they're turning 55 laps, if I remember. Is that what it was? 55 laps, I think.
Yes, 55. Linville. Yeah, it's Linville.
Linville.
Let's see. Harold Linville.
Yep. And Pedersen.
Couple
of new ones in here.
Yeah. Maybe would it be Peterson? Would it still be Peterson? But
oh yeah, that could be Peterson. Yep, you're all right. Sound it out, Rudy.
I mean, it doesn't.
Sound it out.
it doesn't have a T. It doesn't have a T.
Right.
But you think it still kind of sounds the same. But I think it's Peterson.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Well, I guess we'll find out if it's not pronounced correctly. I guess we'll find out next week or something. But
yep.
All right, just a few seconds left here, and we will get everybody on the grid and get this thing rolling here. 55 laps at the track here. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Get everybody down here. Let's see if we can run down through the grid here for you. Donald Strout taking the pole here with a 27.164. Congratulations to him for grabbing the pole again this week. That's 3 weeks in a row. Jost Vanderveen starting second. John Morgan third. Kenneth Baldwin starting fourth. John Unsby fifth. Harold Linville in sixth place. David Sustello last week having a bad week. He will start seventh. Stephen Karkner in eighth. Gianni Rosbaldo ninth place. Richard Columbi starting 10th. Jeff?
Yeah, we got Bruce Poole starting in 11th place tonight, and Rick Peterson will start in 12th. Edward Hamburger will start in 13th. Jim Oliver in 14th. Niles Clyde will run out the field, starting in the 15th position.
Joel Martin.
I'm sorry. Joel Martin will start in 16th.
Okay, there we go.
When I seen MaxSpeedTV pop up there, it confused me.
All right, looks like we're ready to roll out. And yeah, he is in there too. Joel Martin, he is on the track.
I do see that. Yep. I do apologize for my slip up there.
16 drivers. Pretty good.
Yes, sir. It is a good field.
Finishing my cup of coffee. Ready to go eat some dinner after this.
What I'll do as well.
I don't think they have 2 pace laps here, do they?
No.
Well, we're about to kick it off then, if that's the case. Thinking that they did, but here we go. Ace car's in. Rain is out. Well, Donald Strout's already pulling away. He's already almost 3/4 of a second ahead of Joe Standerman. John Morgan third. Oh, we got a spin.
Yes, we do.
And that would have been David Sostello again this week. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to David. Hey, down the back stretch here, he seemed to be okay. Coming down the front stretch, everything seemed to be all right. Might have been a little contact, I'm not sure. It was okay going into turn 1, and yes, right there was the contact. It looks like he got into somebody right there. Try a different view here. Yeah, he just looks like him and that would have been John Unsby. I'm not sure if he got into Unsby. Unsby come down onto him. Looks like maybe looks like a combination of both. But Unsby's going to go and hit the outside wall. Now they do have unlimited resets here, from what I understand. Is that correct, Jeff?
I believe they do. Let me see. Yes.
Okay. Unsby's just sitting on the track. Why is he just sitting on the track? Oh, he can't. Trying to turn and it won't turn. He's going to have to tow.
Uh-oh.
Costello on pit road already. Yeah, those two are on pit road. Well, it doesn't look like the leader's going to bring them down pit road. I would venture to say that you probably, truth be known, you probably wouldn't have to pit here. 55 laps ain't that far, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what he did to the fuel, if he turned the fuel way down. Did he change the fuel, Jeff?
Let's take a look. Well, I want you. What's going on here? Had a computer malfunction there for a second. I got it underway, and they. There's no. Yeah, there's no fuel on the. Well, I don't know about the Star Mazda because I come in under the Formula Renault, so it's not showing me as a for the Pro Mazda if there's a fuel difference, but for the Formula Renault there is not. It's a default full fuel load.
Okay, well I would imagine it's probably the same for both, but it looks like the front 11 did not pit, but those behind it may have got a piece of that or something there. They come into pit road. Niles Clyde, Gianni Rosbaldo, Rick Peterson. Sustello's off of pit road now, but he will be a couple of laps down. John Unsby's still sitting on pit road. That tow, boy, that'll kill you when you have to tow.
Oh yes, that's devastating for any driver if your car is undrivable back to pit road and you have to get that tow. And I mean the tow times vary, depending under green flag conditions or caution conditions. I've seen it before. I was under green flag conditions and I had a 1.5 minute tow, and then when I was under caution, I had one time I had like a 4 minute, a 4 to 3 minute tow. So I mean, it varies. I've never seen anything above 4. That's as high as I've seen it, and I've never seen anything below 1 minute. I've never seen like a 30-second tow. So,
well, you're doubled up and ready to go back green. Get them going.
All right, we'll do. All right, pace car heads back for pit road.
Ready, green, 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 green.
And there's the green flag. We're back underway here at the Milwaukee Mile.
It's starting to get a little racy back here in the back. Kartner, Lineville in a good race. And we have a caution again. Rick Peterson. Back and see what happened to Rick. This is right after the restart. Going into turn 1, he's okay. Oh, right there it is. He looks like he got spun. Back here. Let's see, who was that spun him? That was David Sustello. Got into the back of him. Wow, just kind of like drove right into the back of him pretty hard right there. And Rick Peterson going to spin right in front of the field. That will bring out the caution. Caution number 2. Rick Peterson bringing out the caution. Coming to pit road to get that looked at. Still out front, we have Donald Strout, which has led all 8 laps so far. Not a good thing when you have that many cautions in 8 laps, Jeff.
No.
It's a 6 caution laps. We've only had 2 green flag laps.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get her back underway here in a minute. Sustello, everybody's back out there on the track. Unsby, Sustello, they're both a couple of laps down. Peterson will be back at the tail end of the lead lap. He did make it to pit road using his reset. He's good to go. He'll be all right now. He will start with Sustello right behind him, though. I don't know. Them two already making a history together.
Yes, sir.
Unsby back there with them. So we're ready to go back green here. When the lights go out, I think they'll go out this time by. Brand new pace car out here. iRacing switched it up from the old Mustang to the Rough, which is an amazing car itself. Fun to drive. I mean, it just sounds bad to the bone when you're in that thing. Somebody said they thought it was kind of weird that they'd have a road course car be the pace car on ovals, but the way it is. It's on all of them. It's on the road course, same as the Mustang was. It was on road courses and ovals. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. All right, here we go. Ace car heads for pit road, and there goes Donald Stroud on the loud pedal. Guys right behind him. Joe Spandervan hanging right on his tail. Can't say bumper.
No, there are no bumpers on these cars.
No bumpers. And Joe Spandervan for the lead.
Oh boy.
Here he goes. Does he have enough? Looks like he's going to beat him to the line, and he will take over the lead.
Yeah, he'll get his first lap led today.
Yes, sir. We're not running the Renault 2.0. Donald Strout in the Renault takes a look back to the inside here, going into turn 3. May take that lead back, and he does. The Renault 2.0 is putting on a show up here in the front, but we've got some other cars that are with them. John Morgan, first star Mazda. Stephen Kartner comes from 8th up to 4th.
Yeah.
He's hanging right with these guys. Harold Linville, also in a Renault 2.0. Bruce Poole moving forward, started 11th, and he's up to 6th in a Star Mazda. One of our Canadian brothers. Boy, these look like a lot of fun, Jeff.
Oh, yes, they do. Since I'm not 60 years old and I can't enjoy them, I have to start my own league with these cars.
I never realized that these cars could be made so equal, you know. I know Donald, he fiddles with the setups on the car and adjusts the weights and the air package on them a little bit and makes them where they run pretty equal out here, you know, each and every race. So, yeah, this is pretty amazing. He's starting to put a little distance on Joe Spandervan. Let's go back in the back here. Gianni Raspaldo, now 5.2 seconds. Kind of losing the draft there of them guys up front. Niles Clyde coming up from 15th up to 11th.
Really not too sure what happened to Raspaldo back here. He started at 9th place, but he's currently running in 12th.
Yeah. Rick Peterson, which we've seen get spun there a little bit ago by David Sustello, now goes into 13th after starting 12th. Jim Oliver goes, he was up a little closer to the front, but now he's back in 14th again. Unsby mixing it up. He wants to be ahead of Sustello when the caution comes out and tries to get that lap back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's currently ahead of him right now, so if another caution wouldn't come out, he will indeed gain on that with the free pass.
Yep, he'll get 1 lap back. He'll only be a lap down then. Costello not far behind him though.
No, then that once he gets the lap back, then he won't have to worry about Costello because Costello is going to be 2 laps down. So that means as long as nobody else goes a lap down, if another caution happened to come out, he could get back on the lead lap.
Some great racing here. Karkner, 3rd place. John Morgan, 4th. But Karkner moving forward with that Mazda.
Yeah, this is the closest up we've seen of Mazda today so far. 3 laps complete. The highest one was in 4th place. Stephen Karkner, but he managed to make it around John Morgan, and he's now in 3rd. So it looks like the Pro Mazdas might be starting to show some oomph here and try to get up to the front.
Yep, Bruce Poole finally making a move here. He's taking a look the inside of John Morgan. There's another Star Mazda.
Yeah, great to see these Star Mazdas battling up front here. Oh, he got
Baldwin sideways. Lost it. Looks like he might have caught the curb there, and we got another one that spun too. I think Edward Hamburger spun. But just a self-spin is all it was. Nobody got into him. Nobody got any damage on it. Didn't look like Edward Hamburger got any... Oh, Edward Hamburger's on pit road. Excuse me. And so is Costello. Wow, what's going on with these guys? Man, lots of damage on both of their cars. Well, Strout continuing to lead. The only other leader we've had was Joost Vanderven. He led 1 lap there, and then Donald Strout got right back around him and took the lead back. So, and these guys don't appear like they're going to be coming to pit road to get fresh tires or anything. I wouldn't think you would need tires or fuel on this short track here for these cars.
You wouldn't.
You know, full tank of fuel, man, you can really put it in there and don't worry about fuel and tires.
Yeah.
We've had to have some guys that did have to tow again. Edward Hamburger, David Costello, both sitting on pit road.
Yeah, I actually do see what happened. Right behind Kenneth Baldwin's accident, these two made contact and hit the wall in turn 1.
Oh, didn't see that. Well, I believe Unsby should get the wave by. As long as he wasn't involved in any of that, he should get the wave by and only be 1 lap down.
Yes.
He's been a threat early in the season. He was a big threat. And boy, he's just hasn't been like right on his A game here in these latter races. And I'm not sure what's going on with Unsby, because Strout told me, he said that was one to keep an eye on, John Unsby.
Let's just maybe possibly hit a downfall here. Maybe not some good tracks for him, and he can't really, find the way the car really, the way he wants it to handle, and it's, possibly maybe, giving him a few issues, and but looks like another bad day, sadly, also for David Costello, as he'll take his car behind the wall.
Oh man, I guess he didn't like that unlimited resets, huh?
I don't know. Who wouldn't like unlimited resets?
Heck yeah, man. Go out and drive it like you stole it, Vandervan led 1 lap. Trying to figure out what he's going to have to do to get around Donald Strout here in these closing laps. They got to come into 30 to go here in a minute. Another lap around. Light should go out on the pace car here. We're down to 15 drivers left on the track. Well, 14 on the track, 1 still sitting on pit road. Lights are out, and they are doubling back up. Unsby back on pit road. Might have stopped to maybe freshen up them tires or something. I don't know. Yep, he's away. I guess he didn't get the wave by. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think since the driver that was going to get the wave by, which was Edward Hamburger, who was involved in the wreck, it waves it for everybody, and no one gets a wave by.
Ah, okay. All right, well, here we go. Pace car's in.
Ready, green, 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 green.
And there they go, back to green.
30 laps to go.
Goes Vandervan. Man, he is just like lost it from Donald Strout there. Man, it looked like he was going to have a good run, but it wound up he didn't. Kartner, the first star Mazda in the race, running in third. See if he's got anything for them guys up front.
Halfway home.
29 to go. Joel Martin coming from 17th up to 6th, Jeff. Good run for Joel. He's also running a Star Mazda, so the Star Mazdas are starting to move toward to the front. Might take them a little bit longer to get there, but they're moving.
Yes, sir.
Especially Joel, man, he's really doing a great job. Bruce Poole now looking to the inside here of John Morgan. And he's going to take that position from John, and so is Joel Martin.
Yeah.
Good run.
Wow.
Morgan coming back on the outside for the time being, but let's see what Joel's got going into the turn. He can outdrive that Renault 2.0, and he does take over 5th place. So Joel Martin, man, biggest mover of the race today, Jeff, coming from 17th up to 5th.
Yeah, I tell you, this right there showed the performance of these Pro Mazdas in the corners, how he drove past John Morgan. So, the four-wheeler Renaults, I think they do have a little bit more leeway on the straightaways with a little more power. Once you get that Pro Mazda in the corner, he just hooks up and he can race with those other cars.
Raspaldo back where he started up to 9th. And Kenneth Baldwin now going from 4th back to 10th. Not a good day here. I'm not sure what's going on with Kenneth's car, but something's amiss. He's just not hooked up here, not feeling it today, or what's going on. But the Domino's car not up to full speed.
Yeah, he didn't get no damage. He didn't get no damage for that spin he had there in the last caution. So I'm not really sure why he's so slow here. Man, it's a tough break. With the strong starting position that he did have and the strong run he had going in the going. It looks like that spin really hurt him.
Yeah. Well, Strout continuing to lead up front. 24 to go. Joost Vanderven just cannot get close enough to him to do anything with him.
No one man on a mission, and that's Joel Martin. Joel Martin just Bruce Poole and moves into 4th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, boy. He is really coming up through the field. There's a man that is feeling what that car can do right now. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing he's doing that a lot of the other drivers aren't doing, or well, I should say one thing that he's not doing that some of the other drivers are. He is not shifting.
Ah.
I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but if it moves him from 17th to 4th, he must be doing something right.
Yeah. He's had just an awesome outstanding run here so far. Coming from 17th and he's up in 4th right now, and he's still looking strong, and he's looking to catch Stephen Kartner in 3rd. Wow, 21 laps to go here, coming to 20 to go. I think Joel might have something for at least Stephen Cartner here in the closing laps.
Yeah, because if I ride on board now here with our leader, Donald Strout, you'll hear him downshifting and upshifting. As I say that, he won't. There he did. Yeah, he just upshifted. Goes into the turn, downshifts. So he is shifting. And Joel Martin is not. And he's closing that gap. He's cut down a couple of tenths on him. But with 20 to go, I don't know if he's got enough time to get there or not. Cartner about a second ahead of him. Harold Linville, yes it is. Started 6th today, running back here in 8th place. Baldwin right behind him. And he may be looking to pass here. I don't know. He's taking a look, but didn't have enough ponies under the body there to get that done.
Nope. And one thing I have noticed, that I did take a ride along with most of the drivers down here in the top 6, it's top 5, and it looks like only the guys driving the Formula Renaults are downshifting and upshifting. Most of the guys in the Pro Mazdas are not.
There's a big one. Kenneth Baldwin just drove into the back of somebody here. Well, let's go back and take a look at this.
That was Harold Linville.
Yeah, just drove right into the back of him and spun him. He was trying to pass him. I did see that. He was trying to make a run on him. I don't know. There may have been a little blocking going on there. I don't know, but I know he was using that yellow rumble strip a lot.
Oh, yes.
And, there could have been some other contact made right there. Looks like, yeah, right there. Linville comes right down in front of him. I don't know if it was like an attempted block or what was going on, but the one that got the most damage is Baldwin. He got flipped onto his roof where Linville did not, That's pretty wild. Okay.
Yeah, if you look back at that too there, right before they dived into turn 3, they were almost going 3 wide with Gianni Rosado. Yeah. Man, what a job that, Gianni done to, back off the car, steer it right, and to stay clear of that mess.
Yeah. Well, that's good for them, that what you got to do. You got to keep that car in good shape.
Yes.
We still got 8 drivers that have not been to pit road today. 7, I think, 7.
7, yeah.
The front 7 there, Donald Strout, Joe Spandervan, Stephen Cartner, Joel Martin, Bruce Poole, John Morgan, and Richard Columbi. None of them, they have not been to pit road today.
Yeah, there's also an 8th driver who hasn't been to pit road either, Jim Oliver. I'm back there in 10th. I'm seeing that he hasn't pitted either.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate or not, because why he would be behind. Well, unless they passed him, that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Sometimes this thing isn't as accurate as it is,
Yeah.
It's just a reference. Is pretty much what it is. The only thing that's actually accurate most of the time are the like the gap times and their lap times and stuff like that. Those are pretty accurate. But their pit times, those aren't very accurate. I just use them as a reference, just to say, somebody was on pit road X amount of time compared to another driver.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a reference. It's not accurate 100%. Well, ain't going to be long, and this race will be over here, Jeff.
Yeah, they're coming here to
14 to go.
Yeah. Lights are still on the pace car though, so we'll see if they get the one to go this time. Biden, looks like they might restart with 13 to go.
How's your IRTVO working now?
Oh, it's working great.
Good.
I do have a slight problem with the controls though for the relay thing and the play thing. There's a few things it's kind of finicky on that, but everything else works great.
Well, make sure you have that on the little box there. Make sure you have that set to auto apply, not manual.
Yeah, it's set to auto.
When you go back live, you have to click the double arrows up at the top of that to make it go live. You can't do it any other way.
Yeah, like I can click the pause and play button, it'll do that. I can click live button, it'll do that. I can click the the previous thing, it'll go back. But when I go over here to where it's the drop down box for like the different cameras and stuff like that, it doesn't want to change them.
Ready, green, 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 green.
All right, there we go. Boy, what a start by Joost Vanderven. He knew what he had to do right there. He restarted pretty quick on the outside.
Yeah.
This could have been Donald Strout's demise right there just by letting him get that good start.
Yeah. And we got some guys back here trying to go 3 wide. I mean, these guys know it's go time. They're trying to get up to the front here.
Yep, Bruce Poole trying to make a move on Stephen Kartner.
Yeah, but the one that made the big move I'm looking at is Joel Martin. He moves in the third.
Look at that, man. Up from 17th to 3rd.
Last place on the field, 3rd. Wow, what a great drive today for Joel Martin.
Might not make it the victory lane, but he's going to be knocking on the door of a podium seat for him. Boy, Joost Vanderven just took it really wide coming out of the turn. That let Donald Strout close that gap up a little more. He's got to get a better handle on that the exit of the turns.
Yeah, they're coming to 10 to go. Donald Strout still has plenty enough time to try to, regain a position here on Joost Vanderven. And I think he might be possibly able to do this. We'll see here what these two can do. I mean, Joost has his work cut out for him to stay out front here of Donald Strout. Because, Donald's led the most laps so far today.
Yeah, led 40 laps. Nobody can take the most laps led away from him. That's pretty much impossible to do right now. But whether he can get at the victory lane or not, I don't know. Joost has got a different idea about that.
Yeah.
He's really wheeling it.
Yes, he is. Stephen Kartner back here in 4th. He's got some company now. Bruce will just went around him to take 4th from him. So Stephen will go back to 5th. And here comes Gianni Raspaldo back here in 6th position.
Yeah, he's really moved up a lot since the beginning of the race, because he was mired way back there in like 12th place for the longest time.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was even a lap down at one point there, I believe. But he's back on the lap now, and he's running strong. Because I remember he started 9th, and he was back around 12th or 13th place, kind of struggling a little bit. Looks like he's kind of, got that car working on his side now, and he's got it to the point where he likes it. And he's now up here bidding for a top 5 finish.
Donald Strout closing in on Joost Vanderven. As we always say, Jeff, catching them one thing, but getting by them's another.
Exactly.
He's right here within 4/10 of taking the lead back.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get the victory lane.
Yep.
When Joost just keeps taking them turns really wide, and that's where Donald's catching them right there.
Yeah, that's what's costing Joost Vanderven here. He really doesn't, not understanding, that could be the way, he's getting off the corners. But I'm seeing a lot of other guys take the corners a little low. I think that might be what's hurting his chances here to keep Donald Strout there behind him, as he needs to keep it as low as he can to keep Donald behind him. If he keeps pulling, turns like that, coming off high, Donald's going to catch him.
Yep, man, that was a little better there. I think a lot of it's his angle of attack, that he's getting in there, where Donald's got a pretty good angle of attack, and I think that's what is really costing Joost Vanderven. 5 laps to go for Joost to try to bring it to victory lane with Donald Strout 0.4 of a second behind him. Joel Martin 3rd on the podium. Great run.
Great run. Yeah, now that I'm watching Donald Strout's car, Donald's trying now to follow the same line, it looks like, as Joost Vanderven. So, he's trying everything out of his wheelhouse here, that number 8 machine, to get back into the lead here before the race ends and get the victory lane. But Joost is looking pretty strong now. Looks like he's starting to not go as high I think he's keeping his his standards here in check to try to stay out front.
Yeah, and I think another key factor too is staying off those rumble strips, because
Yes,
you got to think about that. That kind of makes the car vibrate. You're losing traction when you do that.
exactly, and especially for an oval. Most road courses, some rumble strips can be your friend and help
Right.
you, but
Yeah.
on an oval, and a flat oval, no way. That's
Yeah.
a danger zone down there. That's the highway to the danger zone. You don't
Yep.
want to go down there on that. You hit that, your car can get loose. It can unload the suspension, and your car can go for a ride, and you won't even stop for days.
Well, I think
put it a
Donald,
different way, but
yeah, I think Donald has kind of given up hope here. They're coming to 2 to go. Doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's got anything for Jost. Jost is out there 3/4 of a second. 2 laps to go for Jost to bring it to victory lane. We'll get a word in here with him at the end. Coming to 1 to go, and it looks like maybe Donald Strout might be closing that gap just a little. He's down to a half a second. Is it enough? With 1 to go at the line, folks. I don't think he's got enough to get there with him.
I don't think he does either.
All he can do is hope right now Jost makes a big mistake or something here, but... And this isn't something that he can't just like coast it to victory lane. He's got to stay focused and stay right on it for 2 more turns here to bring it to victory lane. And it's going to be Jost Vanderven at the line, folks, for the win here for 60-plus league. Congrats goes to him. Great win for Jost Vanderven.
Yes, sir. And we thought there at the beginning of the show, because we've seen Donald Strout the past 2 races sit on the pole, lead the most laps, and win the race and take home a dominant performance. But today here at Milwaukee, something slipped up. He stood at the pole and he still had the most laps, but he didn't make it to victory lane, sadly. But still great effort from Donald.
Yes. All right, well, let's get down here and we'll see if we can get a word in with him. Until we get an opening here. Jost Vanderven, you got a copy?
Yes, I have.
Well, first off, congrats on your win, Jost. That was one heck of a job you did on that restart, that last restart after the caution. Kind of schnookered Donald Strout a little bit there and got by him, and man, you never looked back. I seen you changed your line a little bit to try to maybe keep yourself a little more focused and not make such a wide swing coming out of the turns, and I think that really helped you. But talk about the racing a little bit out there, Jost.
Well, it was a great fight today. Most time of the race I was fighting with, following Donald. But indeed at the last restart, after the yellow flag, I had a good restart, and that was the key to my victory, I think. It was very exciting. I changed lines because I didn't want Donald to get on the inside. And indeed get focused on driving fast laps.
Well, one heck of a job out there, Jost. I got to say, man, it looked like a lot of fun out there. Tell me about the Renault 2.0. Do you think that was definitely the car to have here today over the Star Mazda?
Well, yesterday I was beaten by John Unsby in the Star Mazda, so he did in the last laps, when my tires were overheated, I think. He could pass me, and but today I was the fastest, and I think the Renault is a good car, and yeah, you have to control it. It's not easy, but I did.
Well, very good, and congratulations to you. Man, that was one heck of a race. Anybody you want to thank today, Jost?
Well, I want to thank everybody who was in this race. It was exciting, and of course I want to thank my wife at home for always supporting me, and you for giving the interview. And thank you.
All right, Jost, congrats, and go celebrate that win, brother. Well deserved.
thank you, and of course, congrats to Donald and Joe.
All right, Jeff, let's run down through the results here, buddy. Jos Vanderveen coming home with the win. Donald Stroud, after leading the most laps here, wow, started on the pole. We thought he was going to get his third win in a row here, Jeff, but he wound up he didn't. Jos kind of got him on that restart. But two Renault 2.0s finish up there in the top spot, and after that, boy, the Star Mazdas come alive. Joel Martin coming from 17th all the way up to third. Great finish for him, sitting on the pole or in the podium. Bruce Poole finishes fourth. Stephen Carpenter fifth. Johnny Rospaldo comes from the back up to the front here. He finishes sixth. John Morgan seventh. Richard Columby eighth. Niles Clyde ninth. And Jim Oliver 10th. Jeff?
Yep, we got Rick Peterson will finish in 11th place this afternoon. John Unsby will finish in 12th. Kenneth Baldwin will finish 13th. Harold Linville in 14th. Edward Hamburger in 15th. And upsetting day for David Costello. Again, you know, we seen him with a bad finish last week, and sadly, again, it just wasn't his day here at the Milwaukee Mile, and he'll finish 16th on the last position on the track.
Yes, sir. Well, again, congratulations to Jos Vanderveen, and thanks for watching today, folks, the 60 Plus League here on MaxSpeedTV, and we will be back later on this evening for another broadcast here, so make sure you tune in for that. Till then, folks, stay safe and have a good night.